Hello, everyone. I want to continue what I started at the beginning of the week and give another idea of how to overcome the void. We started not so many days ago with additions to davening, and then it got more during Aseret Yemei Tshuva, and then, of course, with the 4-day hiatus, we had full Hallel, Hoshano, Musaf, Lulav and Etrog, even on Simchas Torah, void of any mitzvah, we added mitzvot, and then, poof, stop. So stopped that we don't even have Tachanun. How are we supposed to overcome it? And I'd like to give another idea based on the life and the legacy of my dear cousin and my dear neighbor, who was an inspiration and a mentor in so many ways to me, Boaz Roz'itsky, Zichrona Livracha, who was taken from us at a very early age this past Sunday morning. Anyone that knew him knows that this man, anytime you saw him, had an insight. He had an insight on Torah, he had an insight on the Parsha, he had an insight on current events. Not only was he well-read, he was constantly coming up with new chidushim. Or maybe above and beyond all was his life story. He was learning in Hebron, not the Hebron yeshiva in the city of Hebron, but Hebron Yerushalayim, what we would colloquially call a Haredi yeshiva. And the first Lebanon War broke out in 1982. And he heard from his own teachers, try not to walk around in public. You know, we're not going into the army, we're not about to go into the army, and therefore we're a little embarrassed to, walk around. So try not to walk around in public too much. Be in yeshiva, go home quickly. Don't try to be too public. And he couldn't stand that. First of all, I have to be embarrassed about who I am. And secondly, just learning the Torah. He said to himself the same thing that Moshe Rabbeinu said, when God and the tribe of Menashe didn't want to cross over to the west bank of the Jordan River. Your brothers will go to war and you'll just sit here. It has nothing to do with you. He got up. He left the Hebron yeshiva. Not learning, not Torah. He left the yeshiva and enlisted into the army. This is someone who fulfilled the words that we say in davening every day. HaMechadesh betuvo bechol yom tamid ma'aseh vereshit. God didn't just create the world, but each day renews the world in order to make it more relevant, to make it accessible, to make it a world that answers the needs of the Jewish people and the world at large. If there's anything that God likes, it's not shinuyim, changing Judaism, but chidushim, insights. And allow me to quote a famous medrash in this regard from the Yalkut Shimoni. On the pasuk that we read in the Haftorah of Parshat Beshalach, when Devorah sings her song to God after being successful in war, she says the words Yivchar Elokim Chadashim, which literally means one thing, but the medrash has on the following level of interpretation. Nimtzeu batei midrashot rabim beYisrael. There's many study halls in Israel. V'chol mi shemechadesh Torah al piv, and whoever comes up with an insight in Torah, domeh kemi shemashmiim oto mishamayim. It's like it came out from heaven. It's like divinely inspired. And the pasuk Yivchar Elokim Chadashim. God said, "Let him have new gods," quote unquote. Let him come up with new insights in my Torah, not just the ones they heard back at the Meis Medrash of Moshe Rabbeinu. Let him come up with new things, new insights. I believe that during these days between the end of Simchas Torah till Chanukah, it is our time to rethink, to come up with new insights. Perhaps the conclusion will be, I rethought and I still stand by my former conclusion. But it does not, I repeat, does not exempt you from trying and falling a prey to your routine, to just saying, this is the way I've always done it, this is the way I'm gonna do it, this is the way I've interpreted it, and this is the way I will. I can't tell you how many times I've been at weddings and I've been at Divrei Torah where I hear the same Dvar Torah again and again, and it just makes me not bored, but I feel bad for the rabbi. He becomes irrelevant. This is the time of the year to walk in the footsteps of God. If God is mechadesh betuvo bechol yom tamid, and we have a mitzvah v'halachta bidracha, following in the footsteps of God, This is the time of the year for us to indeed think of new insights, think of new things, perhaps change routines, if indeed that's the conclusion. And if we do, we will not only be following in the footsteps of God, but I believe it would be a tribute to the memory of a great Jew, a great member of my family, and most importantly, a great member of the state of Israel, Boaz Roz'itsky, Zichrono Livracha.